Welcome to the DFS pregame show here on RotoGrinders. I'm Jordan Cooper, aka Blender Ed, Blender HD, if you want to follow me on Twitter. And it's Monday, December 12th, and you know what we do on Mondays? It's Mondays with McCool. We bring in James McCool, the co-author with me on the Theory of Daily Fantasy Sports. It's a 15-hour audio DFS masterclass you can pick up at theoryofdfs.com. Good morning, people in the chat. Hit that thumbs up button. You know how much I like that. DFIC, Bart B, Suki Singh, Wataz, Kickstart, Tank Forever. Pac-Man's here. Even Pac-Man's here. Gobbling up my bankroll yesterday. Lost money yesterday. Even though I did, James, I came in, I had a sweat yesterday. I came in 10th in the 100K SPY. And if I got touchdowns from Carolina Panthers running backs that would have gone to Deonta Foreman, I would have won. Maybe wouldn't have won. Came in second at least. But Chuba Hubbard, Deonta Foreman gets stuffed twice, and then Chuba Hubbard gets in, and then Deonta Foreman gets stuffed once, and then whatever Blackshear guy, I don't even know his first, Rolando Blackshear, I don't know what he. So I got the right team. I got the right position. I just didn't get the 2 touchdowns.
Here's what I would say about that. Deonta Foreman should just be better at not getting stuffed at the goal line.
Right, because there's a way to control that.
Right, yeah. Well, I mean, just, like what? Like you see Jamal Williams. Like Jamal Williams never gets stuffed at the goal line. He should be more like Jamal Williams.
If I would have played Jamal Williams, he would have gotten less points.
Well, yeah, because Jamal Williams never had a chance at the goal line. But when he does get chances at the goal line, he scores. So Foreman should just do that. He just scored.
So how was your yesterday?
Oh, bad.
Well, did you have the Lard? See, the thing about this lineup is, like, it's a 2% Lawrence, 6% Zay Jones, 2.7% Evan Ingram, and then everything else either is way. I mean, some of his ownership I did not expect. Well, obviously, I played Swift and Jefferson opposite each other. I have no Amon-Ra St. Brown at 1,000,000% owned in this lineup. I paired the Deonta Foreman and the Panthers defense. I thought Deonta Foreman's ownership, what happened there?
I was blown away at that ownership.
I did not. Looking at the Millie now, just from an ownership perspective of where I got the most wrong. Obviously, I had Amon-Ra St. Brown for much lower than 46. I still had him as the highest owned player on the slate, but more like 30% owned.
Yep, same.
Than 46. Dallas defense, I didn't have it 34, but I still had the highest owned defense.
Sure, of course.
Pollard I had lower. Foreman I had lower. Swift I had lower. I had much more on Henry. Like, if we take a look at just even the running backs. Like, I had Henry as the highest owned running back. And then after Henry, I had Mixon. So I had Henry at like maybe 26% owned, Mixon at 22, and then we got like Pollard at 20, Swift at 18, but I had Foreman at like 10 to 12%, and he came in at 25.
Yeah, I had Mixon at 24, and I had Derrick Henry at 20. So I was flip-flopped with you, but those were my top 2. Then I had Pollard at 20, I had DeAndre Swift at 19. I had Deonta Foreman at like 12.
Right, that's about what I had him at. That's why that's why I played him.
I cannot believe that he ended up like. Why did that happen? I don't understand that.
Someone in chat is saying late swap. It can't be for that. It's the Millie. People don't swap enough in the.
Nobody's late swapping that.
Right.
Yeah, I don't know. I think that like directionally, it was pretty. It was right to have like the top 5 or 6 owned players be Amon-Ra St. Brown, Joe Mixon, Derrick Henry, Tony Pollard, Justin Jefferson, right? Like that directionally, that makes sense. But their ownership got extremely inflated. And
if I take a look at the wide receiver stuff, like I had the top 3 owned receivers are the top 3 owned receivers. So I had Amon-Ra, Jefferson, and Garrett Wilson. So yeah. like directionally, I'll take a look at this, and then I had Chase up there, Lockett up there. Shark and Thielen are coming along for the ride from the game stacks. DJ Moore I had up there, Judy I mean, like it's the wide receiver ownership is about what I expected. About what I expected.
Just higher.
Yeah, other than no, I mean, I had Jefferson at like 24, I had Wilson at 20, but I had Amon-Ra at like 30. So basically, but it didn't really affect much of the other own. I mean, it did, but like from a strategic standpoint, Amon-Ra being 46% owned, like all of this ownership, the extra 16 percentage points in ownership just came out like from like everyone.
Yeah.
Like it's not like it just it came all out from this person and that person. It's just like no, just pretty much across the board for everyone.
Yeah.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, I only played in stacks. So it's, I mean, I did the same thing like I did the week before. Like if I'm playing a Goff or a Cousins team or something, yeah, sure.
I had Amon-Ra St. Brown in one lineup, and it was across from Dalvin Cook.
Right, okay, yeah, stuff like that. Dalvin Cook was lower owned. Like, lower. I had him at like 12, and he came in at 9. Okay.
I really liked Dalvin Cook this week. I thought he was a phenomenal GPP play. So I was fine with having him, but still, I went about it the opposite way of you, and I decided to just get pieces of that Detroit Minnesota game in lower owned stacks. Like I had a Dallas stack, which was 5% owned or something. So I don't care about eating Amon-Ra St. Brown. I don't care about eating Amon-Ra St. Brown 30% ownership in that lineup. I care a little bit about 48% ownership, but whatever. And then
I just tried playing that game a little differently. Like I played DJ Chark as like a one. Yeah. Like I was doing like Dalvin Cook one side, DJ Chark the other side. I was also doing Swift. I also played KJ Osborne as a cheap punt.
I liked the Minnesota side more. Like I played around with a lot of different Minnesota stacks that were mostly built around DJ Chark. I really wasn't trying to eat Amon-Ra St. Brown chalk if I was going to play that game. But I mean, I ended up not playing any stacks of that game because I only had 3 lineups. I think from a macro perspective, I need to play more lineups because like 3 lineups this year has just shot me so many times where I'm like, yeah, because I wrote up the Jags as a stack. I was like, yeah.
Why did you play Lawrence stacks?
I played the other side. I played a Tennessee stack.
Okay, I did that also.
So I liked the Jags, but I had a Dallas stack. I had a Tennessee stack, and I had a Cleveland stack. So like those were my 3 stacks that I had. And if I'd have had 5 lineups, if I'd had 10 lineups, then yeah, I get onto the Jags. I have another Minnesota.
Well, yeah, you got to do better in 3 then.
I know. It's killed me this year.
Look, my single entry lineup was a Trevor. I mean, I played Trevor Lawrence.
I thought he was a great stack. And I would have gone about it with. I probably would have had Evan Ingram if I'd have built a Jag stack. I probably would have
gone like Trevor Lawrence. You're filling a tight end spot. I mean, that's the reason why I have 42 points here.
It makes it easy,
right? But if you take a look at the rest of my lineup, I'm playing like, dude. Once you play a 2% owned stack, I mean, dude, you do not have to get different.
No,
play the best projected lineup. I mean, that's essentially. Obviously, I'm playing Henry as the run back, so it's not just it's a Jag stack. It's Jag stack with Derrick Henry. Then it's like, okay, I want a piece of the Minnesota Detroit game. I go Swift Jefferson, and then what? Then Foreman Panthers. I mean, this is how I build lineups. I mean, it has 3 correlations in it and a one-off Wilson, who was the best projected for that price range, and there you go. And boom, right, of course. Foreman's 5,400. You know who else was 5,400 in the late games? Jerry Jeudy.
Oh, brutal.
Yeah. So if I would have played Jerry Jeudy instead of Deonta Foreman, I'd have $100,000.
Yeah, you'd absolutely bank that. Yeah. Right. I built. The first lineup that I built was my Dallas stack, and it's like my favorite lineup that I built all week.
Let me guess. Is it it's a Dak plus Lamb plus Schultz?
No. Okay. It's Dak plus Lamb plus Gallup, right? No bring back on. Or no, I did have a bring back. I had Philip Dorsett.
Okay.
So Dallas stack, bringing back Philip Dorsett. Of course, miss on Chris Moore having 150 yards. Whatever. Don't care. And then I had Dalvin Cook, and I brought that back with Amon-Ra St. Brown. I had Joe Mixon. I brought it back with David Njoku with the Broncos defense. It's like, and
that's scored like 80 points.
Yeah, it scored like nothing, but it was like my favorite lineup that I built all week. And it scored nothing. And then, things like that happen. It was a bummer. It's just a bummer of a week. I think overall NFL has been annoying for me in that a lot of the time I'm on the right things in terms of the models, but then I just like say in my little nut brain, oh yeah, I'm just going to make Tennessee stack instead. Like why?
Why? Right. I mean, like you're like tennis. I mean, I had 16 lineups and I did only because I was playing a lot of that game. I was playing the Jags Titans game. So I played one Tannehill lineup alongside 3 Lawrence lineups just to have the other side of the game also. But in 3 lineups, I wouldn't have played the Titans. I wouldn't have played the Browns. I would.
No, I know. And I did it like late in the day. I was like, yeah, I'm gonna do this last lineup's gonna be a Tennessee lineup. And then after lock, I'm like, just make the Minnesota lineup, James. Like you could just you
don't even have to make the Minnesota lineup, but don't screw around with the Titans when you could just play the Jaguars. The Jaguars side was so much better. I mean, what did you make? What was the Titans lineup? What did you make? Like mine was Tannehill plus Woods plus Okonkwo.
My Titans lineup was my best lineup, by the way. So like this is the lineup that came closest. Ryan Tannehill with Nick Westbrook-Ikhine and Chig Okonkwo. Right. Okay. So cheap. Yes. So that I could afford Christian McCaffrey with Justin Jefferson because I wanted to spend up at
did you have any Jags in that lineup?
I did. I had Christian Kirk instead of Zay Jones. So that sucks. It sucks, right? Like, what are you gonna do? And then I had Tony Jones in that lineup. Which
Tony Jones, come on.
No, I know it's a terrible lineup.
What were people doing? Strawface and Stratton's even so annoyed to play Tony Jones. And like what are people doing, James? What did you do?
Of the reports from Schefter.
Quote starting. That doesn't mean anything.
Right. But at the price to be able to get Christian McCaffrey and Justin Jefferson in that lineup.
Just play Travis Homer then.
But why Travis Homer?
Because at least he has value. Who cares who gets the first snap of the game?
Well, okay. So again, we're gonna look at this from a modeling perspective, all right?
Right, that's what I'm saying. What did you do wrong?
So I had Tony Jones projected for like 11 fantasy points. It's not a crazy amount of fantasy points, but
no, my aggregate at 8.2.
Yeah, at 4.8,
4,800. But Homer was 200 more. Don't give me the always 4,800. But Homer was 200 more than that.
No, I know. Like I said, this.
But I had Tony Jones at 8.28. And I had Travis Homer at 11.64.
Because of the receiving work?
Obviously, or probably more of a shit. Dude, you act like I'm putting these inputs in.
I know.
I'm grabbing this from around everyone.
I don't know why I asked that. But yeah, anyway, annoyed about the Tony Jones situation because like I didn't need to take that risk. And I know that I didn't need to take that risk. Like looking back at the lineup, I think that I did it specifically because, and here's the thing. I needed to do it to fit the lineup that I had, but if I play Zay Jones instead of Christian Kirk, I could have played, I don't know, maybe Donta Foreman, who I thought was only going to be 12% owned, right? Like I'd have been fine with that. So it's really annoying that because I've just been cold in NFL. It's frustrating. I hate downswings in NFL because you only have so many weeks, right?
It's all just blends in with all the other sports. Who cares?
Well, yeah, I mean, I get it, but like it's still annoying from like I don't know why it's annoying. Cold streaks in NFL feel worse for me than cold streaks in other sports.
Who was the report on Tony Jones? Strawface is saying it was expected to play 50% of the snaps. I don't remember seeing that, but you know what?
It wasn't 50% of the snaps. It was literally that he was so there were multiple reports out. And again, this is
all I can remember. All I can remember is the main report I believe was Rap, and anything he says, I just don't even bother.
It was not Rap report. It was Adam Schefter, and it was.
What did he? I'll go back to Twitter to even see what did Adam Schefter say.
Absolutely, Adam Schefter, and it was expected to be the starter and to get the majority of the snaps. It was like a legit report.
It was a legit report. Let's see how legit this report is. I'm going to search. This is how you search on Twitter. I'm just going to put in Jones. Let's see. No, these are people just replying back to him.
Yeah, these people that are mad.
Let's see. Where's an original tweet?
Maybe. Okay, no. You want to know how you really search things, Blender?
What?
Go to Adam Schefter's account.
Yeah, and I mean, I could. Yeah, he doesn't tweet that much. I could just scroll through.
There you go.
Yeah, what happened with T. Higgins yesterday?
I did.
He should have. Well, what kind of crap is this? I mean, shouldn't he be on the injury report if he's injured?
Yeah. Well, I had him in the lineup too. Like I said, man, just tilting.
No, but I mean, I don't mind. Hey, if you told me he was questionable and I played him anyway, and then he ends up not playing, that's one thing. But he's literally not even on the injury report.
Yeah, very different.
I'm still looking for this.
Did he delete
Metcalf? There's DK Metcalf, Fournette. Here, Seahawks, Ken Walker, and DJ Dallas both.
No. He deleted the tweet.
Oh, he did? Oh, he deleted the tweet?
He deleted the tweet.
Where? Because I don't see any tweet about Tony Jones.
No, you don't, because he deleted it. But that was, you can go.
How do you know? Well, shouldn't there be screenshots or something?
There's likely screenshots. Hold on.
So show me.
Right.
You keep on telling me that Adam Schefter reported the Tony Jones thing. I don't remember Adam Schefter. I remember other people. I don't remember a Schefter tweet about Tony Jones. So I could put in Tony Jones. I could put, like Ian Rappaport. Sure.
No, it was absolutely Adam Schefter.
Absolutely Schefter?
Yeah. Because I don't even follow Rappaport.
Yeah, but you'll see tweets and you'll see whatever in your feed from other people.
And it was tweeted out by Underdog.
Okay, well all they're doing is taking it from other sources.
Right, and said that per Schefter.
Oh, per Schefter.
Per Schefter. We're going to find this. Because that's the only reason why I changed it.
Right. He's getting credited with the sources high Tony Jones.
It's the only reason I changed it. Was because it was Schefter. And then he goes back and deletes the tweet.
But wasn't he the starter? Technically, he did come in the first series, right?
Yeah, but that's not what was said. It wasn't just said starter.
Right. Oh, because no one screen capped it or anything like that. All people are just complaining about probably losing their $3 fantasy football.
Yeah. I mean, I don't care about that, obviously.
Right. DK Nation. Seahawks Tony Jones expected to start today versus the Panthers per Adam Schefter.
It wasn't start. It was absolutely be the lead back. Like, get the majority of the snaps.
Yeah, it's just people yelling at him.
And, like, the chat agrees with me.
Mike Clay said Schefter said Tony Jones is starting. I still wouldn't have played him though. I still like, dude. I saw the same thing you saw, and let me aggregate my projections. Oh, neither running backs is great. Okay, so I don't play either of them. I didn't play either of them.
No, and I get it.
Why not just play Jerick McKinnon? Because apparently he's the greatest to ever do anything.
God, yeah, just brutal stuff. Overall, anyway, whatever. We can stop looking for this.
Right, but obviously was there. I don't know. It
was there. But anyway, from a modeling perspective, from a content creation perspective, like if you see that the guy who had the majority of the snaps when Ken Walker goes down, because initially I did have Travis Homer, and I like Travis Homer more. If initially you see that the guy who came in and got the majority of the actual rushing work when Ken Walker goes down, and then is reported by like reliable sources who apparently delete their goddamn tweets, it tweets out that he's going to be the main lead back. And like, you have to go in and you have to say, okay, well, now we have to switch Travis Homer from being the lead back into being the change of pace back again. And that's fine. Like, Travis Homer still projected okay, but he projected a little bit behind Tony Jones. And then the upside of Tony Jones in a matchup where you would expect Seahawks to be able to not suck, like, it just seemed like an okay spot to take a risk on somebody if they're going to be lower owned. And I did still expect them to be lower owned. So it's a situation that sucks and is one of those, like, you look back on it. And of course, as we're talking about on the show, it's like, why did you even take that risk? And I can absolutely
right. But I mean, Matthew Kajeski's in the chat right now saying no other projection source did what James is saying. You're that's the thing that I'm pointing out, that when that report came out, I'm aggregating all the projections, and when I aggregate all the projections, it still has Travis Homer 3 points higher projected than Tony Jones, even with the change, even if you whatever change in workload. From what I could see, I mean, I was going through some stuff. Most people were saying that even though Tony Jones is the starter, like, Travis Homer is going to get most of the quality touches. I mean, like, as far as, like, do I care who runs into the line 12 times
right
in the midfield? No. So, like, I can't. Great. Even if it's 60-40, Homer still gets so much more valuable fantasy point work. I mean, that's what I'm assuming. Like I said, I'm not modeling anything, but.
And like I am saying, this is an annoying mistake on my part. I'm not saying and defending the model. I'm saying that when the report comes out, you do have to adjust for that. And Strawface 23, the blitz moved him up when the report came out and made them about even.
Okay.
I'm not insane here. Like, you have to make those adjustments when that report comes out. You don't have a choice as a model.
It just ends up with that you don't play either. I mean, it even with that. I mean, it didn't matter.
I totally get that. And I have already acknowledged that it was a bad decision on my part. I get it.
Matt Mears in chat says Grant Brown taking down the 100K spy in the 100K red zone. Where did that happen? Is his name Johnny Rats? I don't know. I'm in the 100K spy.
Yeah, we're looking at it.
I'm looking at it, Matt. So I mean, because he's a listener, he's a watcher, he's a RotoGrinders subscriber. He's in the Discord, in the we do Zoom calls or whatever. Which I'm doing another one tomorrow night, 8:00 Eastern. So sign up to RotoGrinders Premium Combo Premium. I do 2 or 3 Zoom coaching calls behind the paywall. If you're a premium member of RotoGrinders.
Super valuable stuff.
Yeah, typically we have very good conversations there. Much better than on this show. I'm not talking about you, James. I'm talking about the people.
I was going to say, you don't appreciate our conversations? I thought.
Yeah, the conversation last week was definitely the attractiveness model.
That was incredible stuff.
Right? See, Gino did well, so he's obviously attractive.
Yep. Obviously.
How did Trevor Lawrence? Right, Trevor Lawrence, you couldn't play, right? You could. Oh, okay, he's not attractive.
No. He's very, very ugly. Very ugly. It's an exception to the rule. You know, there's always going to be outlier events.
Oh, Grant won the spot, the 20K to first and 10K red zone. Okay, so not this one. I was in those also, just not with obviously this good of an entry or whatever. So congratulations. There you go. All you needed is Evan Ingram, right? I mean, if you have a 2% owned 42-point guy in the tight end spot, it's there. That's pretty much all you needed.
Yeah,
to differentiate yourself.
I think
did you see the Millie winner?
Yeah, it was a really good lineup.
The Millie winner won by 36 points. Like, dude, do you know how ridiculous that is?
Yeah.
I think the Millie winner had pretty much the optimal lineup.
Yeah.
I don't know if you could have scored any more points, but like, and it all makes sense, right? You got Lawrence plus Zay Jones plus Evan Ingram, Derrick Henry run back.
Yep.
Right. You got and then you got Jerry Jeudy and Jerick McKinnon are across from each other.
Yeah.
And Jerick McKinnon used to be on the San Francisco 49ers.
Yeah, so you get that correlation as
you
well.
Get that right. That correlation that doesn't matter. 1 by 30, like not even like 35 point. Like, dude, he could have taken out Jerry Jeudy from his lineup and gotten a 0.
Yep.
And won. And still won them and still won $1 million.
Yeah.
He could have literally taken out Miles Sanders at 6,200 and played Tony Jones. Right?
He could have won. He could have played Tony Jones over Jerick McKinnon, which is a thing that I could have done.
Right. If he played Tony Jones over Jerick McKinnon, he still would have won. I think. Or or 35.4. No, I don't know.
Well, Tony Jones did score 1.2 or something.
Oh, yeah, you're right. If he replaced Jerick McKinnon with Tony Jones, he couldn't have. Tony Jones was 4,800, and then he would have been over the salary.
Oh, yeah. Yep. Right. Well, there you go. Prevent yourself from making the mistake by having less than that enough.
DFix says the optimal was 287.
Which I think
close, 272.
It would have been Christian McCaffrey and a different defense.
Right. Right, because you replace Derrick Henry with Christian McCaffrey and a lower Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. So you get a little bit more there. But like that's a ridiculous lineup. I mean, that's straight up insane.
Right. The lineup before it. It's like, okay, Geno Smith, Tyler Lockett. You take a look at this lineup, and it only has a couple of flame modes. You got Everett Ingram in there.
Yeah, that is a run-of-the-mill lineup right there. That one isn't even special, and it came in second.
Right. This one, it's like, damn. It's almost like you don't mind if you don't mind losing to this type of line. Just like, okay,
you look at that,
truck me, and that's fine.
There are a lot of people on Twitter that are really good players that were just like, that's a good lineup. You can't even be mad about that. Sometimes you look at the Millie lineup and you're just like, I need to stop playing DFS.
No, sometimes you look at the Millie. Sometimes you look at the Millie winner and you go, how do you construct this, and how lucky do you have to be to get like all of those one-offs right?
Yeah.
Like in that exact order at this low ownership or something. And then you take a look at this lineup and you go, yeah, I could have built. I mean, like you just look at this and you go, I have nothing. I have nothing to say. I'm just like, I think it's constructed well, and I would have. Any of these players could have easily been in my player pool.
The only player that I likely would not have played there is Jerry Jeudy.
Why?
Actually, hold on.
How would he mean? How Jerry Jeudy? What's wrong with the Jerry Jeudy?
I might be lying.
Fine.
Might be. No. Actually, I'd have played him. He was fine. He was the highest projected player at 5,400 that I had for a wide receiver. So yeah, I'd have played him.
How about compared to running backs at 5,400?
Yeah, actually, yeah. So
Jerry Jeudy was the best project. So to you, Jerry Jeudy was the best projected player at 5,400 or less.
In terms of position players,
yeah, obviously, compared not defenses and quarterbacks.
Yeah, one sec.
If I had to ask you, James,
I
have $5,400 left, and I have the 3 late games.
It's Jerry Jeudy.
So if I used your model,
yeah.
I have $100,000. Hopefully, I don't even know if I use mine. It's gonna be really embarrassing. It's gonna be really embarrassing if I look at this because I didn't change it.
Yeah.
So I have the aggregate up. The ownership is different though because I reset that. So let's take a look at the late games. Like if I had it open with all the late games, right? And then I just by salary. I go, okay, who do I play? Do I play Jerry Jeudy? No, I had Foreman for 0.03 more than Jeudy.
I had Jerry Jeudy at 13.6. I had Donta Foreman at 11.9.
Okay. I had Jeudy at 12.87, Foreman at 12.9, Latavius Murray at 13.21.
I had Latavius Murray not that high because the Broncos suck.
They didn't suck yesterday.
I had Latavius Murray at 9.6.
The bathrooms won out yesterday. The bathrooms, they lost.
Bathrooms did win out.
Right? And then Rippon threw a touchdown that doesn't count for the bathrooms.
Oh, man, yeah. And like, even... Man, I'm so annoying. Why am I so annoying, Blender? I had Jacksonville projected well over Tennessee.
Right. So why are you playing? Why?
This is what I'm saying, dude. Like, I don't know
even
what...
Brick, if you listen to Brian Hooper, like a lot of sharp people had the Jaguars.
No,
like,
I know. I had here's in terms of stacks. All right. Buffalo the top stack, then Minnesota. Those guys both projected above 50 as a stack. Then Seattle, Philadelphia, Kansas City. Hard to deny that. And then Cincinnati, Jacksonville, and then Dallas. And I played a Dallas stack over Jacksonville as well.
Right.
This is what I'm saying. Like the models, I have been building good models, and I have just been like getting into build mode, and I'm like, let's burn some cash. Like I'm not even.
Like you look at the stuff, and I can understand being contrarian, but you already are being contrarian with what you do.
I know. I'm really frustrated about it. This has been a frustrating NFL season for me because I had it right there. Right, like in terms of leverage, it was a good stack. LevX was fine. Top, I had it finishing as the top stack 4.27% of the time. Like, it's pretty good.
I think if you played anything but Minnesota, Detroit, and maybe Cincinnati, I think you were fine. Seattle was okay.
Yeah.
But then outside of that, I mean, I thought, hey, if you wanted to play Dak Prescott, I think that's fine. But from the cost of that lineup, I mean, Jacksonville
Dallas did have the highest. Dallas had the highest team total on the slate. Like I don't mind stacking Dallas, especially when Tony Pollard is going to be chalk. Like that was I think.
And the defense is chalky. No, I get that.
I think that was a fine decision. My mistake was playing Tennessee over Jacksonville for sure. And Tennessee projected well in terms of 5x percentage. I had them as the most valuable stack, and they did well. Like they hit their medians just fine. But should have played Jacksonville. I am annoyed and frustrated.
If you listen to the game theory show that me and Tuttle did, that was my favorite game on the slate, Jacksonville, Tennessee.
I loved that game. I wrote it up as the under-owned shootout.
Right. That's exactly what I did, and that's why I played it, and you didn't.
Well, I played Tennessee.
Why didn't you play the right side? You played Derrick Henry on one side, and you played the other. Come on.
I know. Well, and Derrick Henry, I don't know. I don't think that I would have played Derrick Henry in that stack.
Do you think next week, when Evan Ingram's 3,800 or 3,600 or something, 74% owned, and he's going to get what? He's going to go 2 for 18.
Yeah, it's going to suck. I mean, this was the last good game that he'll have all year.
This is the last good game he may have in his career. We've been waiting for this type of game, 11 for 152 and 2 touchdowns since he played for the Giants.
No, I said for Derrick Henry, this is the last good game that he'll have this year.
Oh, I'm talking about Evan Ingram.
Oh no, Evan Ingram's awesome. I said it in the Discord yesterday. I played him for probably 5 weeks straight at no ownership, and then did not play him this week.
Yeah, but he wasn't owned this week either.
Right, but I still didn't play him after playing him for a month straight. DFS, man.
Right, it's just like the Miles Sanders people. A lot of times, I play Miles Sanders 6 weeks in a row, and then the week I don't play him, 256 yards and 18 touchdowns.
I think that was another big mistake that I made this week as well. It's not.
I don't think that's big. How is that big? Sanders didn't project well.
He projected well for me.
He was okay. He was there.
Miles Sanders I had projected for 13, which is fine.
That's 13. That's not.
Well, hold on. So
I had him for 13.25. It put him there.
But
it was there.
But I thought the projection was fine. It wasn't great, but in terms of like the running back landscape, it was fine. But I had Philadelphia projected for by far the most rushing touchdowns on the slate at over 2. And like I usually try to play running backs on the team that I have projected for the most rushing touchdowns. It was Philadelphia, Cincinnati, and the Detroit in terms of rushing touchdowns.
And I played when you have Mixon and P. Ryan runs it in.
Yeah.
Right. P. Ryan, I've mixed in P. Ryan. I got Foreman, so that means that it's not just Hubbard, it's Hubbard and Blackshear running in. And then then obviously Tony Jones. I mean, I didn't have him, but when in doubt, just don't play a running back.
No, I agree. They should just make a new format that is just wide receivers and quarterbacks. That sounds awesome.
You could play running back in your utility position.
Yeah, you could. Yeah, if you
Get
want.
rid of defense. Get rid of defense and add another utility spot.
That would make for a really, really good change next year. DraftKings won't do it because they're way more interested in killing their MMA product. But like, I would love for a second utility spot added to NFL next year.
Now, I would love for Superflex.
Superflex would be sick too.
I want to be able to stack 2 games at once.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, no,
right.
Really,
I want to be able to do quarterback, 2 wide receivers, and run back, and then do another quarterback with another 2 wide, and do that. No defense, super flex. Let me stack 2 things. There you go.
Yeah. I think that there is room for some really, really good innovation to be made in the space, and I don't think the DraftKings will do it. My hope is that, like, I don't know, Underdog or one of these other sites puts together like some interesting formats. Maybe, I don't know. There's a lot of room for innovation, I think, in terms of roster construction stuff.
Tank Forever says, I listened to the Friday show while hand building my MMA lineup and finished 10th in a low stakes tournament. Your insight on the different fighter variances were so valuable. Okay, thank you.
It's awesome. Good job.
Right.
Good job.
And Matt Kajeski says that we should just play college football DFS.
No, I will not be doing that.
The problem with college football DFS, it seems like you're not sure who's going to be in the quarter, who the people are even going to play. Like, yes, you're right. You could play 2 quarterbacks, but it seems like every week in college football DFS, it seems like it. Probably not this, that someone is 58% owned and gets 0 points because they didn't play. Like, it's like it feels, or which quarterback and which running back, and is this guy like? I don't want to get involved with that.
Here's my thing. It's a news aggregation sport, and I don't do those. I hate those. I do enough, right? Like,
right, you have Adam Schefter, who I mean,
I cannot roll.
Why aggregate news when you have Adam Schefter saying that Tony Jones is going to get a large percentage of the snaps?
And see, there's that, which happens. Like, Schefter doesn't miss very often, but that very, very painful miss there. But that is commonplace in CFB and in preseason football and in WNBA and in, all these other news aggregation sports. I hate news aggregation sports because
Matt says, imagine the T. Higgins situation every week.
Yeah, that sucks. Why would I want to play that? That sounds terrible. That sounds awful.
Unless you're into college football, which I'm not.
Yeah, and I don't even like watching college football. I don't like watching anything.
By the way, the MMA contests for this week have come out. $50K to first, $18 GPP. It's the lowest top prize in almost 3 years.
They wanted to kill that product off. I said it on Twitter. I think that they
screwed it up. Did you see they screwed it up? They screwed it up again?
Yep. I think they literally looked at the numbers. I think they saw that the sharpest players were just like feasting on the MMA product and were like, we got to kill this. So they just did this. It's so bad. It's so bad. And I feel
they unlocked it. This is what happened on Saturday. Like, I can tell you this, that I obviously I don't have cameras there. I can tell you this is what happened. Okay, on Friday, the Salvador Da Silva fight was scrapped after the weigh-ins because Da Silva didn't make weight and then he had a medical issue. Okay, so the way that the DraftKings had it, they set whoever set up the times of the fights had to reset the times, and instead of waiting to see like all that was scheduled to be the second fight of the night, so it's not going to change much. You bump all the other fights down 20 minutes, and there you go. You're done. But apparently the person at DraftKings that's handling it said, we're going to make the first fight 6, second fight 6:10, third fight 6:30, because there's only going to be 3 fights on the early prelims at 6 o'clock. It's not, but the card, because there's only 3 fights on the early prelims, is not going to start until 6:30. But of course, the person on Friday was too lazy to even consider that. So they left the start time at 6 and the fight time 6, 6:10, 6:20. And then obviously the weekend person, because it's different people, came in, wasn't paying attention at all. And then you see that the start time should be 6:30. FanDuel moved their start time up to 6:30. DraftKings didn't do anything. So basically, the first 3 fights were going to be locked by the time this card even starts, because it's locking at 6:10, 6 o'clock, 6:10, 6:20. Whoever was in charge of there did not even see that until lock. Like they literally didn't even notice it. So what they tried to do, stupidly, so 6 o'clock, the first fight locked. Then 6:10, the next fight locked, even though the broadcast hasn't even started yet. So before at 6:17 or so, they decided to unlock the first 2 fights and change the start times. So they changed the start times to 6:40, 7 o'clock, and 7:20. But they already showed the ownership for the first 2 fights, and we both know from precedent, once they show ownership and you try to swap, they're going to DQ your lineup.
Yep.
Right? So now I'm sitting there going, I ain't changing any. Number one, nothing's starting. There's no reason for me to late swap anything. Nothing's changing. Right? For me, the ownership wasn't like, oh my God, now that I know that, I need to change everything. It wasn't even that. So like 10, 15 minutes later, they locked, and then they relocked the fights again.
Yep.
Like, how do you screw this up without, like, it's because you're just completely negligent. Like whoever's on the ops team is just they're just bad at their jobs. They just do not care.
It just seems like they made this change and then had absolutely no process for how they were going to handle it.
Like, right. No process as far as, well, if this fight gets canceled, like, what are this fight? Like, the thing that annoys me, James, is their own sports book has the start times.
Here's the dumb thing. Here's the thing that I think is the dumbest part of all of this. Why not just have somebody sitting there that presses a button to lock the fight at lock?
Because that involves labor, and
one button. That's all. You can avoid all of this issue. Like, it's just a dude. He needs one finger. This is it. And when a fight locks, he just goes beep.
You don't understand how these companies operate. They don't.
No, I know it's like all automated. I get it, but like that's.
Right. But their own sports book listed the start time of the first fight at 6:40.
Yeah, and
the second fight at 7:10, and the third fight at 7:40. Like it's listed on their own sports book. Now, obviously, that's the estimated start time, and their own sports book. Once you can bet on a fight with the odds that are up, literally until the referee goes fight. Like, you could, like, so on the sportsbook side, they have all the live betting is, they know exactly when the round is over, and they lock the lines, they open the lines,
somehow
on the DFS side, they can't, like, no, we need to plan this out 17 weeks in advance. It has to be an exact time, and it has to be all automated. Like, dude, your own company already does this.
Just cross-pollinate the tech. This is not hard.
I'm not even talking about the tech, the times. It's literally like, how about the person that's like, oh my God, we need to set the start times for all these fights. Why don't I go to our own sports book that has the times of all the fights and put those numbers as those numbers? Like that.
They don't even have to call the sports book, right? Like, there's 2 different paths here.
Look it up on your phone.
The person could literally just pull up their phone and say, those are the start times. Beep, beep, beep. Or they could call somebody at the say that they don't have access to the sports book because they work for DraftKings and they're not allowed to sports bet. Okay, sure. I get that. Whatever. That's policy. Call the person at the sports book and say, hey, what time do these fights start? I agree. And Hutchings, never ascribe bad behavior to intention when you can ascribe to pure incompetence. Absolutely. Just the
right. I don't think this is bad intention. Like, they're killing the product. No, they're just stupid.
And killing the product. Stupid and killing the product. It sucks. And now all the MMA people who have been grinding that are bummed. And there's no other sport that is as good to you in terms of like the way that you put things together like that as MMA was. So
I'll still play the small field, so I don't care. It's fine.
You can still play a small field, but that large field contest is shot. It's shot, man. Can't play that.
I did late swaps. It didn't help me.
Well, that's
this pack slate was not very good. Well, that was what happens when Billy Carantillo gets destroyed in the first round, and then Alexander Hernandez completely gasses. I mean, it's expected, and then he puts up 125 points at 42% ownership.
Mm-hmm.
And I have 8 lineups. I have been 0.
And you're just shot. Yeah. I of course did not play MMA because I will not play that sport at this point. I wanted to play it at one point before late swap, and now it's just like there's no
hey, dude, it's better than college football.
Yeah, well, it's not
better than listening to Adam Schefter and Tony Jones and T. Higgins.
Yeah, I should stop playing NFL and play MMA. That is true. That is true.
Why don't we just stop playing altogether?
I'm enjoying NBA right now.
You're enjoying NBA? It's gotten to the point that the other sports are so bad that you're enjoying NBA.
Well, it helps that I hit for 45K the other day.
Well, yeah, that is true.
That'll help. But also that like the way that I have now put together NBA and like the new model has been performing great and I'm really happy with it. And one of the reasons why I enjoy DFS is building things that work. So at this point right now, my NBA model is my favorite thing that I have built and it's performing well. So I like NBA right now. That's just how it goes. And then in February, when nothing matters and you can't do anything until 6 minutes before lock, I will go back to hating NBA.
Don't you find it funny that like you're most interested in the sports that you made a lot of money in?
That is how it works. Yeah.
Isn't it really that's what we should learn on this episode is that like I'm into MMA. What happened in MMA 2 weeks ago? Well, I won 30 grand.
Yeah.
So I like MMA, right? And then you're like, I'm really liking NBA. It's like, really? It's like, yeah. Well, I won 45,000 in it 2 weeks ago. I mean, like it doesn't come down to what objectively whether or not it's good or bad or it's enjoyable or not enjoyable. It's just like no. That really comes down to that. Truthfully, it should come down to the ones that you actually win money at.
Right. And that's that depends on
like golf. I'm not profitable in PGA DFS, so you know what? Hate the sport. Horrible DFS sport. Hate it completely. Right, but if I won $100,000, it'd be like, yeah, okay, I'm making a PGA lineup every week. That's really what it comes down
to. Matthew Gajewski, how is NBA different than CFB? Pure news? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. CFB being pure news means that like if I get you have to dig for the nuggets of people that are going to play. You know what I have to do with NBA? I subscribe to Underdog NBA and I wait for updates to come in. And then that's pretty much it. Like and after that,
you still get plenty of situations where the guy's questionable doesn't start and then doesn't play or something,
not to the point of CFB, not even close to the point of college football.
Yeah, college football seems like the type of thing where there could be a 38% owned guy that gets a 0 that doesn't play. In NBA, that doesn't it's just that in NBA, you got to constantly update projections and change everything all the time. But you're rarely going to be stuck in a situation where a guy that's projected for 32 minutes like is actually going to get on the court. Like maybe they only played 24 minutes and you were off, but it's not like college football where it's like, oh, we're going to project this guy for 72% of the running back touches and 18% of the target share. And then he literally never steps on the field.
Yeah. I mean, when I say that I hate news aggregation sports, I mean that situations like that where one, you have to dig for the information, and then two, even if you find the information, it might have a chance of being completely ass backward wrong. Those are sports that I refuse to play.
The student union president saw someone in the cafeteria say that blah blah blah. Like that's the news that everyone's going by.
And not only is that dumb as hell that's the news, but it could be right. It could literally be right. And you're listening to like some 19-year-old dude who's probably on Molly at the school cafeteria at 4 p.m. saying that Tony Jones is going to be the lead back for Seattle. And he's not, Blender. He didn't even play the first half. So yeah, I won't touch those sports. I think that my strength is in modeling, and my strength is in baseline and putting together really strong models. My strength is not in news aggregation. It's gross. I can't do it. There are some people who are really, really good at it. When I worked at Daily Roto, Galen, I don't remember his last name.
Dragiev.
Yeah, he still plays, and he plays the news aggregation sports, and he crushes them because he's good at it. He's really good. John Proctor is another guy, great at news aggregation sports. I'm not that guy. I just can't do it. I'm bad at it.
Daniel Hutchins says that I enjoy developing my new MMA late swap process, but I'm not enjoying the experience of constant upload, download, rerun, etc., etc. Going to play maybe half the slates until MMA DFS dies. Right. Even my process, which is an automated, which is I just swap manually. It makes watching the cards. I mean, yeah, I know that maybe you don't care about watching or sweating or enjoying the sport, but I do. So like I constantly every 20 minutes I have to be like, okay, what am I playing for? What does this lineup do? What contest is it in? And this is with 8 lineups. So that's why like I had a lot of like Alex once you're out of contention, once you don't have Carantillo in your lineup, I was like playing how do I rescue min cash game for like the rest of the night pretty much, but like every fight do that, do this. When does this fight lock? That one locks 20 minutes ahead of this one. It's like I loved it before when there wasn't even an edge in late swap, and it just like, dude, it's 6 o'clock, everything locks. We see all of the ownership. You can run even a sim on the contest and see what your EV is from that point, and then you just sit back and just watch everything unfold.
Yep.
And if someone gets canceled, then it is what it is. It's happened to me before.
Yep. And now you just have to sit there the whole time. I wonder how Brian Jester's handling it. Have you talked to him about it, Court Jesters?
Yeah, I mean he has a process. Yeah, has to have some type of process.
Yeah.
But I'm not focused on the large field. The thing is that I think the edge and late swap is so much greater in the smaller field stuff. The large field stuff, you almost most of the time you need to find the optimal regardless of what you do anyway. So I don't think you're mostly like if I could rescue one 555 lineup, that's like rescuing like 50 large field lineups. So like you're not even going to rescue that many lineups in large field. So I think large field play is not that dramatically affected, but the small field.
I think it's way worse because like you have people who are like Daniel Hutchins who are re-simming and rerunning and everything like that. And the problem is not necessarily like for casuals. I don't think that it has changed the game that much, but for sharper players, for overall players, the duplication factor has got to be higher. And especially if they drop down that top prize to 50K, it's shocking.
I think this is only temporary. It's December. It's the last card of the year. There's going to be a month off of UFC. There's football going on. There's holiday stuff going on. I think when they come back on the 14th of January or whatever it is, in the mid-January, it'll be back up to 100.
No. We've seen this play out before, where they say, "Hey, we gave you these options and you guys didn't want to play it, so now we're just going to keep the prize pools lower." We've seen
right, but leave late swap, right? It can't be that late swap is
we've seen
negatively affecting their participation.
You remember when DraftKings took away late swap in NBA?
Yeah.
And then they were like, and everybody screamed at them. The entire sphere screamed at them for it. And then they were like, okay, we'll give you some late swap contests. And the late swap contests were like $6 and a chicken.
Right.
And then,
exactly.
And then they came out and they were like, well, we gave you the contests and you didn't want to play them. They'll do the same thing with MMA. Like,
right. No, I've talked to them about that in the past.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I had a meeting with their head of analytics, literal head of analytics. Well, obviously, I can't say what they said, but I could say what I said.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say because of a non-disclosure agreement.
Sure. Yeah.
Which is still in effect, even though this conversation is from like 4.5 years ago. This is what I said to their head of analytics, who's now like the CFO, like the COO of the entire company. I said, anytime you show me data, this is what I see. Said, you ran an A/B, because they run A/B tests all the time. I said, did every time you present data and a conclusion, it's flawed. Why? It's like, because you run all these A/B tests like this. Okay, we're gonna give people a choice, right? We're gonna get 4,000 people in here, and we're gonna ask. We're gonna look. You get to test drive 2 cars. Said a red Ford Focus and a blue Lamborghini.
Yeah.
Right? And 4,000 people go out. They drive the Ford Focus, the blue Ford Focus, the red Ford Focus, the blue Lamborghini, and they come back, and most people are like, I want the Lamborghini. I want the Lamborghini. And then they go, okay, I'm glad we found out that people like blue over red.
Yep.
Right?
So dumb.
Right? It's like the color doesn't matter. It's because the car is significantly more like, yeah, people are going to want a sports car over, a schlubby, Ford Focus type of car or whatever like that. But no, we're testing out the colors. Like, well, did you run a test when you reverse the colors?
No.
Well, no. So what are you doing there? Like anytime they show me data, there were always flaws of self-selection bias.
Yep.
Like, it's like they knew. So it's like someone said to them above them that said, we need to prove X. So do whatever you can to make it look like that is true.
And this is why I said they want to kill their MMA product. That's why.
Why would they want? But the thing is, why would they want? Like, what motivation?
I don't run the company, but look at all of these decisions. Look at the mistakes. Look at the drop in price.
No, they're just incompetence. I don't think it's on purpose. It's
incompetence. I think that I'm going to put on my tinfoil hat. I think they want to kill their MMA product. I don't know why, but
the thing that I could give you, maybe the reason they're doing this has nothing to do for gameplay reasons. It has to do with limiting customer support tickets.
Okay, that's fair.
Right, because you could think in terms of like, oh, we're spending too much on CX, right, and customer support or whatever. So what? And they go through and they go, what do we get the most amount of tickets for? And maybe this MMA, when something gets locked, we have to do so much stuff on those. When something can't, and they make a cost benefit analysis and go, our objective is to reduce as many customer support tickets as possible from the DFS side. So even though it's bad for the DFS product, to them, they're only measuring by customer support tickets.
Well, and because it was already like a lower overall portion of their pie, like in terms of their payouts and stuff like that, it probably would have been that the rake that they were making was not offset by the amount of customer support tickets they were getting. That makes sense. I can buy that.
Right. I'm not saying that's the case, but that's the way DraftKings is run. DraftKings is run very much on a what does this change? What does a change benefit us financially or save money financially? And anytime you ask that, it has to be on an extreme short-term basis. Here's anything that happens past 3 months doesn't exist to them.
Here's what really happened. All right. They did the cost benefit analysis here, but it wasn't based on their support tickets. They just wanted to put more money into Rainmakers, more money into NFTs, more money into pictures of frogs. So they found the thing that was costing them money so that they could put more money. That money they're saving in customer support tickets here is not going towards their overall line. It's going towards pictures of frogs.
Yeah, what a disaster that is.
Tragic stuff. And it's funny because like I've talked to some people who are making like good money in Rainmakers. Like I have a sub who's very, very like he's made a lot, which is great. But there's like 6 people that are going to make money in Rainmakers.
Right. Well, that's the point. Right.
That's it. And like that sucks as a product. It sucks as a product. So bad. And I guess you could make the argument that like only 6 people really make money in DFS in terms of like the overall field, right? Like there's 1% of people who are actually making money. Maybe 1% of the total Rainmakers field is making money, and that's just the 6 people. And I can literally name them right now of the people who are going to make money because I know who it is. And that's 1% of the field. And I guess that's fair, but So annoying. Such a bad product.
Did you get an Amazon gift card from DraftKings?
Yep, I did. That's great. I'm gonna buy I don't know, oven mitts. Maybe I need new oven mitts.
Oven mitts?
Yeah.
I just applied it to my Amazon balance. Just whatever it is.
That's a fair point. Yeah. Right. I don't do a lot of buying on Amazon. The most recent thing that I bought was a new office chair. I bought a Secret Lab chair, which is great. So
I got a wireless power bank Kickstarter.
Oh, sick. That's cool. Margaret was talking about that the other day, actually. Pretty cool thing.
I just got a new iPhone, so I get the MagSafe, whatever, a battery pack.
Did you get the brand new one?
The 14 Pro.
Okay, so really, really important. Their screens, they went back to using a certain type of glass that they haven't used in the last like 3 years. It's really fragile. Make sure you get a screen protector, like a liquid screen protector on it.
A liquid screen? I have to spray water on it?
It's like you can buy it at Best Buy. I'm not sure if you're being facetious, but like
no, I'm literally going to Best Buy today.
Yeah, so go to Best Buy, and ask for a liquid screen protector because the screen, like Damascus got a hold of mine, and I have the 14 as well. Damascus got a hold of mine and like scratched at it with his fingernails, and like it scratched the screen at the top. It's really delicate. So you want a screen protector. Like
for the first time, Amazon sent me. I was supposed to get a case. It was the first time Amazon has sent me the wrong item.
Oh, that sucks.
So I opened it up and it's like I got a 14 Pro black case, and I open it up and it's a 14 Pro Max clear case. I'm like, how did that? So now I have to go to the UPS store in order to return this.
That's annoying.
But it's no label, no box, so I could just go with this and a QR code, and they take care of it.
Yeah, so
that's where I'm going out later. I've been sending my Amazon, my whatever. I got $500 gift card. Ain't bad.
That's pretty good. That's not too bad.
Or whatever, $500 email that says here, apply this to your balance.
Right? Yeah. You got a $500 piece of computer code.
Right. I'd rather that than they're sending what I don't know if you're getting the blanket and sweater or whatever.
Yeah, I probably am.
Yeah, well, who gives a crap about that?
I haven't looked at any of that. I haven't looked at anything that I've gotten. I've just opened them up and just automatically applied to them whatever. So I just don't care.
Well, just like anything that has like DraftKings name on it, just don't send me that and just give me the equivalent in crowns. Right. Like I don't need a glassware set that has
we'll have to talk about the tier points next week and how it's good for casuals.
You're being facetious.
I'm being exceptionally facetious.
No, well, they're putting all the VIP stuff is going is not just DFS. It's all in one bucket. They've been doing that for the past year or two.
Yeah, I get it, but like
DFS in and of itself, it means nothing to them. They want you to spend money on the sports book.
Oh, I know, but the amount of money that you have to play with to hit certain tiers, the way that I look at it is that they're just going to move all the tiers down. Like the gold rewards from this year are going to be silver next year. Silver's going to go into bronze, and like I'm sure that's the way that it'll work. But to package it as being like friendly towards casual players when you have to spend $25K in entries to get into gold is like that's casual.
Right, $25,000 worth of play over the course of a year is not casual.
Like the analytics person that you talk to, come on, bro. Let's be realistic. That's not a casual player. A casual player might spend $1,200, right? Like, or no.
Might spend $5,000, $100 a week.
$5,000. There you go. Yeah, $5,000.
Right. Think of it. If you play $100 worth of entries per week, that's only that's you're a fifth of the way to gold.
Yeah, and that's $100 a week is like
$500. So to get to gold, you have to pay $500 a week.
Yeah, that's not casual.
That's not casual. No,
I've done a lot of coaching sessions with a lot of casual players, and the vast majority are well under $1,000 on their bankroll per month, like $500 in bankroll. Just so out of touch.
I mean, for me, I don't care.
No. I mean, you and I are. That's fine, but like, it's just annoying thinking of how out of touch that is.
Right. I just don't want tier crit. Just give me stuff in crowns and DK dollars. Don't send me. Here's Here's a blanket. I don't want a DraftKings blanket.
Here's how to make everybody the happiest. Just for every $100 spent, just give me $1. Just do that.
1% rake. 1% rake back.
Yeah, sure. Cool.
Okay,
that's great.
Just give me whatever the amount of rewards that you're going to give me over time. Whatever the value is, just divide that and just give me just rake back of that amount.
Yeah, absolutely. Just give me one. You can break it up on tiers. Bronze gets 0.5% back. Silver gets 1. Gold gets 2. Onyx gets 5. There you go.
Fine. I don't care.
Cool.
Do it.
Love it.
And then don't send me anything. I don't need anything.
Right.
James, Paydirt_DFS.
Yeah, Paydirt_DFS on Twitter. And then you can find all of my models and such. The new NBA model has been super hot over at paydirtdfs.com. Then we get League of Legends stuff back here pretty soon. It should be the 18th. So come get a subscription for all your esports needs and all that kind of stuff.
Apparently the chat, the people want the DK blankets.
You guys can have mine. I'll send it to the first person who asks.
What is it? It's a blanket. You just go to Bed Bath & Beyond and get a blanket.
I have 100 blankets.
Right. But mine says DraftKings. Who gives a shit what it says?
It's probably not even soft.
Right, what's the cost of the DraftKings making these blankets and sweaters and socks? Do you want fancy DraftKings socks? No.
Depends on how fluffy they are, I guess.
Doesn't matter. Well, why?
I like fluffy socks.
I have a DraftKings decanter. I don't drink. Who cares? Why are you sending this to me? Send it to someone who cares and give me the money that it costs to make. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
Okay, doke. Later today, we got basketball today, right? Basketball later today. Go to the Scores and Odds YouTube channel. Subscribe there for all the betting stuff. Our sister site, scoresandodds.com. If you want to take part in the Zoom coaching call that I'm doing tomorrow night, you got to be in the Discord, in the Blenders Game Theory channel. That's a premium-only channel. So you got to sign up for RotoGrinders Combo Premium Package or any premium, NFL, NBA. But get the combo. You get everything. So I don't know why you wouldn't be doing it. So click on the link in the description. Get $10 off your first month. We still got a month more of NFL content this year, and we'll be talking about stuff throughout the course of the week. I don't know. We got NBA, we got Showdown. What else? I answer your questions. I mean, if you just show up Monday through Friday here at 11 o'clock Eastern, I try to answer your DFS strategy questions no matter what they are in the YouTube chat. So give me those thumbs ups on your way out the door. And I'll see you tomorrow on another edition of the DFS pregame show on RotoGrinders.com.